Welcome back to Music Culture Daily. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate the support. Don't forget to hit the hype button as well. I got my man Catalog Talk with me back in the building. Another episode. We got a few albums that we want to discuss. A lot of bangers that came out during the past week. But first, man, what's going on with you, man? How you been? How's everything going?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here. It's been a little minute since we got together, and a lot
Yeah,
of heat then came out since then. So I'm
for
excited to get
real.
into it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
I've
man.
been I've been
Excited,
enjoying
man.
what's been coming out.
Okay. All right, man. That's what's up, man. I appreciate it, bro. Like I said, we got a few albums that we want to talk about, but we want to talk up first. We want to talk about The Game and his latest album, The Documentary 3, that just released last Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go first on this one, man. I've been a Game fan for a long time now, since his debut album back in 2005. Been rocking with him, The Documentary Part 1, when he was down with G Unit, Dr. Dre, Aftermath, G Unit, back in those days. So I go back with The Game a long time, man. And I always been
Right.
a fan of his. I feel that the first documentary, his debut album, I feel it's a classic. I think it's one of the best debut albums in hip hop history. Definitely one of my favorite West Coast rap rap albums debuts of all time. Like I said, I think Game is dope. He's a incredible artist, incredible rapper. You know what I'm saying? He with the shit. Everybody know Game is one of those dudes that he'll battle anybody. He got bars for days, man.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah, like I said, I've been on Game, since 2005, then 2006 when he dropped The Doctor's Advocate. But yeah, let's get to the Documentary 3 and my thoughts on this album. To me, I thought it was okay. It was good. It was a lot of little shots at Kendrick on here. He had some
A
highlight
lot.
moments. Yeah, he had some highlight moments on here. You got the Hate It or Love It. I mean, Love It or Hate It. I guess that's kind of like a play on the Hate It or Love It with 50
Hmm.
Cent, for the ones that probably don't know, with Snoop, and produced by Cool and Dre, Silla V, and stuff like that. I thought that was cool. Steppers with Lil Wayne. That was
You like that
cool.
one?
Yeah, that was cool. Wasn't really
Okay.
it wasn't nothing to brag about, in my opinion. It didn't really stand up, but I thought it was cool. Not too bad. But I'm gonna get to the
Right.
track number 7, No Breaks, featuring Drake.
Uh-huh.
This one is kind of, I don't know if you consider it, featuring Drake, because Drake only said like a couple of words on here.
Right.
Like he was on the chorus, if I'm not mistaken. If
Yeah, I
you
heard about Drake being a feature, but I listened to it without keeping track of every song. And
yeah,
when I got through the album, I'm like, damn, where did Drake go? But then I
that's
went back and looked at it.
yeah. I
Yeah.
was just about to say, if you're not really paying attention, you're gonna miss him. He's not
Hmm.
really on the song, but he's featured on the song, whatever. I think he
Right.
said a couple of words on the chorus and everything like that. So that was okay, and then, I thought it could have been better. I would love for Drake would have given him a complete verse,
Hmm.
I guess that's why the tension with him and Kendrick is going on, the Drake, his loyalty to Drake. Nothing wrong with
Right.
that. I get it. He got Kanye on here, 40 Nights. I
That was
kind
a
of like
song.
that joint. I
Mhm.
really like that one. But
Okay.
yeah, to me, if I had to give this one a grade, I would give it probably, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I think
A
that's
7,
fair.
okay.
Yeah, I think that's
I ain't mad
fair.
at that.
Yeah, I think that's a fair grade for the Documentary 3. It was good, not great. Well, do I see myself going back to it? Do it have a lot of replay value for me? Not really. Not one. It's not,
Okay.
in my opinion, not some of the Game's best work, but it's passable. It's a good album. Game always delivered. So that's my thoughts on the project. What is your thoughts on?
Before I get into my thoughts, did you have a favorite song? Like, did you have one song that, like, stuck out that's the one, if you had to pick one song to go back to?
It's a good question. I would say I like Sticks. I like them,
Okay.
and 20 Deep. I like 20 Deep. I would say
Okay.
if I
That's
had to
fair.
pick something to go back to. I know everybody's opinion is different. So if it was for me, I would say those two.
Okay, cool. Now, as far as my thoughts, I wanted to start off this album because I remember when we first started talking, you said you were, a bigger Game fan than most. And
Mhm.
I would say, like, I'm a fan of the Game as far as, what I'm saying, his debut. I was really into the documentary. That was probably one of my first albums, one of the favorite albums when we used to buy them back from the barbershop back in the day. And I was going crazy with that album. Hated to love it, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But I kind of fell off after that as far as like keeping up with him. Like, yeah, I heard his
Mhm.
radio singles, but I can't say that I ever dove into another Game album as a child, at least. Of course, as an adult, I went back and listened to them like when, what I'm saying, streaming and all that came out. But,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, I'm not the hugest Game fan. So when you said you wanted to talk about this album, I try to go into every album with an open mind and an open heart. You know what I'm saying? I am not a
Okay.
hater by nature. That's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
my thing. I give everybody a chance. And,
Right.
listen to the album. It had its moments, like you said, it was a bunch of Kendrick disses, you know what I'm saying? And it's like kind of those things where it's like, damn, was that a shot? But then I just kept listening and didn't like dig too farther into it. And I tried not to get anybody's opinion of it until after I listened to it. And then I got
Yeah.
the confirmation that he was talking about Kendrick. But it had its moments, but I just feel like you said, it wasn't something that I would go back to, you know? Like I listened to it to get the experience, but I don't know. It wasn't like it was bad raps. He wasn't
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah, yeah.
saying, some sauce on there. It was just like, I don't know. It's something that I couldn't just connect with, you know? Like, I don't know if it's because, like, I feel like a lot of his songs are kind of reiterating the same message. Like, yeah, he has this, like, songs that kind of lean into a different avenue, like a Do You Love Me or like the one about his dad and stuff like that. But I feel like every song he had to prove a point, like, oh, I'll up the Drake on you. You know what I'm saying? I'll knock you out. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
cool, we get it. You've been doing this for 20, 30 years. Like, I figured I was looking for a little bit more growth from him as far as his subject matter. Like, because if you look at any other rapper from their first album to their most recent album over a 20-year span, they're not necessarily on the same type of time. And as much as I tried to avoid that, that's just what I kept getting. Like song after song is, I got my pole on me like I'm going fishing.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
got the
yeah.
Drake on me. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
cool. I get it. I get it. I like the beat. I like the raps, but you know, let's switch it up. What we talking about? But with all that being said, he had a few highlights in there. I like LA Monster. That one, the second one with Kanye, really like
Okay.
that one.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of the what is it, Hate It or Love It, the reverse joint, Love It or Hate It. Really like that one.
Okay, you was a fan of that?
Steppers, I couldn't really do Steppers. That it
Okay.
was just it was too much for me. But those two I liked, and the one with Black Thought, I Won't Be Afraid. I like that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was a few. It had its highlights. I'm not gonna sit here and say it was a bad album by any
Yeah,
means.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like you said, it's not something that I would go back to. Like, it's just something about it. Like all these other albums we're gonna talk, I've listened to them multiple times. This was the only one that I could say, like, I think I'm good.
You
You know what I'm
good.
saying?
You
So,
good.
but
Okay.
I'm glad I got the experience. I wanted to give him a shot and give him a chance and see what's up. And like I said, the highlights are highlighting. I can't. I'm not a huge fan of this album.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why I was shocked when you said a 7 out of 10. Like I said,
What would you
I
get?
look at the positive in every situation. So I'm gonna give it like a 6 and some change. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like it wasn't some sauce. It's not Tiger or
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I think I'm good on this joint.
You good.
If I'm being honest.
I agree with you on that.
But shout
Like
out to the game though. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Shout out to the
He
game.
get busy, man. A game,
Yeah.
and ain't many people want to go toe to toe with him like battle wise now.
Yeah.
He handle his own. He gets busy like for real. Like game
And
is
it's something
serious.
about it was just something about the 24 songs. Like it was just
Yeah,
like
yeah, that was just crazy. Yeah, yeah.
I kind of gauge my engagement in the album off of if I'm listening to the album and at any point I look at my phone and look at the track list and see like, damn, how many more songs is left? That's how I know I'm not really entrenched in it. You know what I'm saying? Because
I do.
some albums fly by.
Yeah,
Like the one
yeah,
we're gonna talk about next. When it was over, I'm like, damn, it's no more.
yeah,
So this one kind of gave me the opposite.
yeah.
So, but
You was kind of like, damn, man.
like by like 15, 16, I'm like, damn, still
Like
10
you,
songs
yeah,
left.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, a lot of albums are like that. Like, yo, is this shit over with yet, man? Like, it's good,
Yeah.
but hey, man, I didn't sign up for 26 songs. But
On that same note, though, I would say the second half was better than the first half, though. Like, I'm
yeah,
glad I made it through the whole album because a lot of his highlights are towards the end of it.
yeah, I agree with that.
So,
I agree with that.
yeah,
Okay. All right. So, it's a matter of opinion though, but I do agree with that. It's not really nothing worth. It's not his best work. It's not nothing like that,
yeah.
man. He has putting
It's
out
hard to top your debut when your
yeah, yeah,
debut is like
exactly.
that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Facts. But okay. All right, man. So that's pretty much our thoughts on the game and his documentary 3. He really ain't do no promotion for it. He kind of just announced it, I believe, last week and dropped it, like the next day
Yeah.
or something like that. So it was kind of
And
a
that's kind of
surprise
what it was
album.
given too. Like, it
Yeah.
was just kind of like, hey, guys, don't forget about me. So that's kind of how I took it. And not in a bad way, just in a, hey, y'all, like everybody's, like the Nas, like Nas had his run. A lot of like older rappers are coming back and game is
Yeah.
just like, hey, y'all, I still do this. So I respect it. I ain't mad at it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
respect it. Okay. All right,
But them
then.
shots at Kendrick was crazy though. We
Yeah,
ain't
yeah,
have to do
yeah.
all that.
He had a few on. He had a few on talking, going at Kendrick, sneaky and stuff like that. But we'll see where that goes. Kendrick minding his business right now.
Yeah, but I say
He
he
ain't
ain't worried
bothering
about it.
nobody. He's quiet. So we'll see how he'll respond to some of these quote unquote disses from the game and stuff like that. So yeah. All right, cool, man. All right, so I guess the album up next, man. I want to talk about this one. To me, I think it's one of the best albums of this year, and it comes from none other than my girl Rhapsody. Her latest
I
album,
agree.
that just came out called God Got a Afro and Gold Hoops. Yeah, man, this album is incredible for anybody that haven't heard it. If you not really, really into Rhapsody or whatever, I think this album right here is something that you should definitely listen to. Rhapsody always bring it. She got the bars, the production
Mhm.
on here, the storytelling, the everything on here. I know we're naming out some of our favorite songs on the Game album, but I have a bunch of songs on here that I love.
Same,
Like a lot of these songs
same.
on here, and like her beat selection, the storytelling, the creativity, everything. I like the song Black Love with my man Malice from the Clips. He shows
Mhm.
up on that. What else? Black is Beautiful is another one that I enjoy. You is a one with DJ Who Kid on
Oh, yeah,
there.
that one was
That
crazy.
one
Yeah,
is
that one
tough,
was
man. I
crazy.
like that.
I
She
was not
kinda
expecting that at
Yeah, I
all.
wasn't expecting that. She kinda changed up her flow on there. Kinda give me like that playful animated like Nicki Minaj kinda
Mhm.
in a way, how Nicki used to do and stuff like
Yep.
that on You. That one was incredible. I really enjoyed that song. God Got an Afro. That's another one that I like. It's like I said, I just enjoyed this whole album from top to bottom. To me, if I had to give it a grade, I'd give it an A. If the source was still
Yeah.
doing 5 mics, I think this would be a 5 mic album. Two, if people don't know what that was back in the day, the source was like the hip hop Bible. They used to give rankings about mics and stuff like that. So 5 mics was the upper echelon. That was like the perfect hip hop classic album if you got a 5 mic. And I think,
Mhm.
this album right here, in my opinion, is 5 mic level worthy, man. She definitely bought it with this one. She stayed true to herself. She got bars. She don't compromise herself with over sexualized lyrics, showing her body. Rhapsody is a rapper's rapper, man. She's one of the best female rappers of all time. So, and this album didn't disappoint. I love the album artwork. The artwork is dope.
Yes.
She's unapologetically black. She love blackness. She love black folks. She love being black, and she make no qualms about that. Like she's deeply rooted in her blackness, and it comes out through her music. So I really enjoy this album. What are your thoughts on it?
I agree 1000%, bro. Like we was talking about this before we got on camera. Like this was one of them
Yeah.
ones that I'm glad you mentioned because I probably wasn't gonna hop on it as fast as I did. But man, I'm with you, man. This is in my opinion, this is up there for album of the year, bro. Like she
I
went
agree.
crazy. And I always ask like what was your favorite songs? And I can tell by the songs you picked, you lean more towards her rapping side. And
Yeah.
rap is in her name. She gonna always have bars. But
Hey,
the
fact.
ones that stuck out to me was when she got into her like neo soul, like singing, like that Apple
Yeah.
Juice joint been stuck in my head for like 2 days now. Apple Juice is crazy.
Apple Juice is
OMG
nice.
is crazy. Growing Older is crazy. Like man, I didn't even know she had that type of range. Like, we all heard her on Complexion, and what I'm saying, she had bars for days. So I was already expecting that. But to hear that side of her, I'm like, oh man, this is special. So
Yeah.
I really like that. Like you said, the message and the album name and title are definitely heavy. Like a lot of that's gonna go over a lot of people's heads. But she was doing an interview about it, like around the time it came out, and they were like, "Oh, where'd you get the name from?" And she was basically saying, like, it's to teach people to see God in yourself. Like God is not a man or a woman or a certain color, but it's in you. So for her,
Right.
God got an afro with go hoops. And that's like a heavy message that a lot of people aren't gonna connect with. But
I
it's like
agree.
sprinkled throughout the whole album. Like it's definitely given like just, what I'm saying, black love and black,
Yeah.
what I'm saying, equality and all that. So I was a big fan of it. But like I said, I wasn't expecting that side of her. And I'll be the first to admit, I ain't never really like dive too deep into her discographies. Like I've heard
Yeah.
a few of her joints, but this was a surprise for me. So somebody that listened to a lot of her stuff, I don't know if you felt the same, but that Apple Juice is going crazy. Like that's my number one song of the week for real. Like I really
Okay.
like that one. But
Okay.
nah, great album. I really like
Yeah.
it. I'll definitely give it 5 mics too.
Yeah.
And now I just want to go back and listen to her other albums and see what I've been
Yeah.
missing because this one was crazy. It was given like To Pimp a Butterfly meets like Jill
Yeah.
Scott with like a sprinkle of like Lil Kim. Like she was bringing a lot of like, what I'm saying, a lot of legends like spirit through this, like as
Yeah.
far as her style. And I really appreciated it. So it was
Yeah.
good. I liked it a lot.
Okay. And that's a good comparison because I was thinking that. She kind of remind me of the female version of Kendrick a little bit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but even like not even with the raps, like just like the style of the
Yeah, the
songs, like the
style.
elements
Yeah,
she brought
exactly.
out, like,
Yep.
what I'm saying, even having George Clinton on here, like stuff
Yep.
like that. It was just given
Exactly.
like To Pimp a Butterfly 2.0. So
Yeah.
I really liked it. I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
And she worked with Kendrick and all that kind of stuff as
Mhm.
well. So to me, they're very similar and stuff like that. They give you a lot of messages in their music, about black pride, and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I love about her. Like Rhapsody, she give you those bars. She showed like a lot of people like, oh, females got to do over sexualized lyrics and do this and do that. Yo, she shows that, it's a female out here that can go toe to toe and actually rap bars
Mhm.
with her male counterparts and stuff like that. So she's getting rid of that stigma, like all females, all they do, especially now, is talk about sex and talk about show off their bodies and stuff like that. She's fully clothed and she's spitting nothing but
Mhm.
hard rhymes and bars on here, man. So yeah, I love it, man. Like I said, Black is beautiful. Black is beautiful. Pretty Bird. What's that? Pretty Bird, Way You
Where
Are.
you are, yeah.
Yeah. So it's an amazing album. Like if you haven't listened to this album, definitely check it out. I'm gonna get the vinyl. I gotta add it to the collection. I'm a big
Same.
artwork kind of guy. Yeah, like I love dope album artwork, and I think this artwork is dope. So I have to add it to my growing collection. So yeah, and as far as replay value, I know we talked about that. Definitely will be revisiting this album for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I've already listened to it 3 times today, and I'm with you on the vinyl, you know what I'm saying? Usually, like, I'd be kinda disappointed when they give us, like, a plain Jane
Yeah,
vinyl, but
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like a
yeah.
black vinyl fits this album perfectly, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, so that would kinda just fits the aesthetic of the album, so I really like that. And something she said, like, she was I can't even say what song it was on, but she was, like, rapping, right? She spit the whole verse, and then she was like, "Do I gotta shake some ass to get you niggas' attention?
Yeah,
Do I
yeah.
gotta kill a nigga to get you niggas' attention?" I'm like, "Oh, she over here going crazy." I'm rocking with her, like, I'm a big fan of her.
Yeah, Rhapsody, she get busy, man. Like
Mhm. And she
anybody.
from your town, right? She
Yeah,
from your
yeah, she
state,
from
right?
NC,
Yeah.
man. She from NC, North Carolina representing,
Okay.
proud, that we doing our thing this year. J. Cole, with his album, he got an album of the year candidate, album of the year, potential album of the year, album with
Mhm.
his fall off album. Now she dropped hers. Like, yo, it's great quality music. So yeah,
Let me ask you a question. As a North Carolinian, let me ask you something.
mhm.
So, North Carolina kind of the same as us. Like, we don't have too many artists that came out of the area. Like, y'all got like Rhapsody, J. Cole, y'all even got like PD Pablo, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, the baby. And I feel like, why is it that a lot of North Carolina artists that I know of, at least, they kind of lean more into like sounding like a New York, like a up north style. Like, as far as like we talked about PFG, J. Cole,
Yeah.
and even Rhapsody and a lot of her stuff, I had no idea she was from North Carolina. So why do you think that kind of seeps into the style from like North Carolina artists like that? Is it just like an influence thing or just an East Coast thing?
Yeah, it might be an influence thing, if you ask me. That's the only way I could think of it. Think of,
Okay.
of course, before the South took over, all we had and all we heard was New York and stuff like that. So a lot of our favorite MCs are from New York. So I would think it's an
Okay.
influence thing, East Coast thing. That's the only way I can, explain it. Basically just the influence of it. J. Cole spent time in New York. He went to college. He was in Queens. He talks about it all the time, living in Queens and all that
Okay.
kind of stuff. So I think
That
it's
makes
just the
sense.
influence being around, New Yorkers and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of rappers from North Carolina don't sound like they from North Carolina when they rap. I think except for Petey Pablo, he kind of sound like he's
Yeah.
from North
That
Carolina.
that
But
was my first
yeah, yeah,
like artist from North Carolina I ever heard. And until J. Cole came out, I
yeah,
didn't hear nobody else.
yeah. He
And
was
that's
the
all I, you know
first
what I'm saying?
NC rapper to blow, if like nationally like that, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So yeah, he of course we had like R&B and stuff like that, but as far as like rap, he's the first rapper to really blow up like on the net. So yeah, but outside of
Okay.
PD Pablo, Ninth Wonder, he from NC, his production style is kind of
Same.
giving a little bit of East Coast New York vibe, with the samples and stuff like that. He don't sound like a
Mhm.
dirty South producer like a Manny Fresh or like some of those producers and stuff that got more like the bounce and more of that type of stuff. But yeah, that's the only
Mhm.
thing. That's the only way I can explain it. I think it's just the
That's
influence.
fair. That
Yeah,
makes
of New
sense.
York. I think influence. I mean, of course, New York influenced everybody, far as coming up. Because it kind of started there. With the fashion and the culture and hip hop and stuff like that. So that's what I
Right.
think.
No, I feel you. I just felt like, like different regions identify with different
Yeah,
like areas of music. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of like southern states, you know what I'm saying? They kind of resonate more with the Atlanta sound versus the New York sound. Or like the
facts.
Bay might kind of lean into Cali versus, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But now I was just curious because I
Yeah.
noticed that over the last couple of weeks that I've been listening to, different artists and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And Little Brother, they don't really sound like they down south. I wouldn't think. I mean, somebody else might have a different opinion, but yeah, Little
Mm,
Brother get busy as well, though. We gotta
okay.
talk about them one time too. Little Brother's nice. They
Yeah.
got they got a few classes out there, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Anything else you want to talk about, as far as like the Rhapsody album is concerned, before we move on to the next one?
Nah, I don't know if she has any videos, but I'm very curious to see what her videos look like and what songs she chooses to promote. Because, like you said, there's so many good songs. I'm
Yeah,
curious
she
what
do.
she's gonna pick as like the single, and like if she does shoot a video, I would like to see the aesthetics of that because
Yeah,
I
me
think
too.
it could, you know what I'm saying, be pretty
Yo,
cool.
if I'm the A&R or whoever, she got to put out You, the DJ Who Kid
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah, that one's
That
that's
that
like a
shit
radio song. Like,
that
yeah,
shit
that's
nice.
the one that's gonna open
Yeah.
people's eyes.
Yeah, I
But
think I think
I'm
she can get
telling
a
you, man.
lot of mainstream push behind it. Not saying that she looking for it because she don't seem like she care about too much of the
Right.
mainstream push, but yeah, that album is definitely like a radio certified. I mean, that song "You" is definitely like a radio certified type of song. So I
Yeah.
would
One last
definitely
thing
push
about this
that one.
album though.
Mhm.
That last song, Act 2, Bloodlines
Oh
slash
yeah,
Growing Older, that song is something else. Like, that song doesn't even, like, you don't gotta, you can be black, white, old, young, Asian, don't matter. Like, that song hit everybody exactly the
yeah,
same. That song, the message of that song was so deep, especially, our generation, like 30s, 40s. Like,
hmm
we literally going through this now. And it's just like crazy how she put that on wax.
yeah.
And I really like that one too.
Yeah, incredible, man. Incredible artist. That's what talent does, man. So definitely check out Rhapsody, God Got an Afro, and Go Hoops. I guarantee you, if you're a hip hop fan, you would not be disappointed. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's moving on to the next one. We got my man Ransom up next, man, with his album The Price of Clarity. What was do you have any initial thought? I thought the album was good. I like Ransom. I think he's an amazing artist. I wasn't really on him a lot. I kind of got on to him probably like maybe 2 years ago. I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've been deep in his catalog like that. Somebody actually sent me some of his stuff, and I kind of like start listening to him then.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna ask how you found out about him.
yeah, so I like him. I like this album. He's definitely a spitter, man. He got bars. He got
Yeah,
bars for
absolutely.
days, man. On this album right here, some of my favorites. He got The Coldest Winter featuring Freeway and Young Chris. I don't know if you got. How did you feel? Did you listen to the whole album? Did you get through it, or what's your
Yeah,
thoughts
I mean,
on it?
I listened to the whole thing. I'm a huge fan of this album, and kind of like you, I ain't really like. It looks like he's been doing it for a while, but I found
Right.
out about him in the last couple years. I forgot what song it was, but he had a feature on a Benny project, like a couple Benny songs, Benny the Butcher, and I'm
Okay.
like, yo, who is this Ransom cat? Because it's I was like, what I'm saying? I can think of another rapper that I can't think of his name right now, but he's from Cali. And I'm like, there's no way that's him. But then he started rapping. I'm like, nah, that's somebody different. But nah, Ransom, after those verses, those feature verses on Benny's projects, I'm like, yo, this dude is nice. Cause
Yeah,
I
he's
never
nice.
tapped in. But I've been seeing so many people talk about this album from like, Joe Budden to like, Tony Baker, a lot of other people. So I'm like, yo, let me tap into this. So you put it on the list and I already
Yeah.
planned on listening to it. But nah, I really like it. I was saying I did a review on it on my TikTok, and I was just saying like rappers have different superpowers. Ransom's superpower is his pen. Like he be rapping and he don't just be filling up space. Like he be really like using every real estate on the song is to mean
Yeah.
something. Like he went crazy with it. So I'm a big fan of that. And I like the message, the whole price of clarity, like the message of it. There's a certain skit on there where it talks about like, okay, when you start to look at the world as like, it's a stage and you're not entertained by all this stuff going on and people look at you different. Like that was a big message in it as well, just like the last album. So I liked it. A lot of songs on it, a lot of good joints on here. It's definitely given like more mature. Like this ain't something you could play at like I'm trying to turn up at a party type, but if you trying to like use your brain and like be intellectual with it, like this is definitely a good album. But it was nice to hear Freeway on the song again. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? That
yeah.
was really nice. Nick Grant, I also like him from way back in the day. He had a good little section on it. The one with Lloyd Banks, I really like that one
Yeah,
too. And
Circumvention. Yeah.
and shout out Tony Baker. Tony Baker is he's the
Yeah.
feature on Prior Richer Life or Richer Prior Life, and that's my favorite comedian. Like I've seen him like 4, 5 times
Oh, word?
like on stage. Like he's funny as hell. Like his podcast and everything funny. So when I heard his voice, I didn't know it was him at first, but dude kept saying stuff that Tony Baker say, and I'm like, yo, ain't no way is he just jocking my man whole lingo. But then I saw it was him, and I'm like, yo, I like that touch. That was a nice little added touch. So overall, great album. Shout out to Ransom. I really like this. This is
Yeah.
another one that I revisited once. MK Ultra is probably my favorite one. I think that's the one where
Okay.
he shot that video for on Instagram. But nah, great album. I really like
Great.
this album.
Yeah, I do too, man. 17 songs long, about 59 minutes. Like I said, it has a lot of great highlights on here. So I would give it, if I had to give it grade, I'll probably say a 8 out of 10. I think, but the
Okay.
bars and the lyrics, where he was rapping and spitting, like you say, he don't waste no space, man. His
Mhm.
vocabulary is top notch, man. I didn't know he was that good. Like, I didn't know. My man Demi D put me on to him, the guy that I do
Yeah, you talking
videos
about
with.
him? Yeah,
Yeah, I told you about it. That's who I had to think, like, who put me on. So he the one.
yeah. I followed him on Instagram. We
Yeah,
talked a couple
yeah.
times.
That's my man. So he's dope. His content is always dope, but he is really tapped into like a lot of guys that's not really mainstream and stuff. So he was the first one to put me on to him like 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I've been tapped in with him ever since then. And yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. So every time I see him drop something, man, I'm definitely pressing play. Like,
Yeah, no,
cause
definitely.
Ransom, he's nice. If you haven't heard his raps, yo, he gets busy, and to me it's kind of funny because to me he don't look like that type that got bars like that. If I don't know if you ever like seen his like IG or something like that, when he don't look like
Nah, I
he's
didn't
one of
really start
those.
seeing him on the gram until he started promoting this album.
Yeah, yeah, he don't look like the type that have bars like that, man. But he's really
Yeah,
nice. He's nice with it, man.
yeah. I
Vocabulary,
was trying to think of the
punchlines, and
song that
everything.
I was trying to think of the song that I heard him on. It's a song called "Band of Brothers" by Ransom, by Benny the Butcher and 38 Special, and Ransom is on it. And that's my first time hearing him. And that came
Oh,
out in like
word.
2022. And I was like,
Okay.
yo, this dude is nice. And that's
Yeah,
when I
he's
kind of
nice.
tapped into his name from there. Yeah, that's the song. I
Yeah.
was trying to think of the song. It was driving me crazy while you was talking, but that's the song.
Don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, he's nice, man. So this album is definitely worth the listen, man. I would definitely be replaying it. To me, it has a lot of replay value. Lloyd Banks never disappoints. I haven't heard Young Chris on anything in a long time, so it,
Yeah.
it was kind of cool to see him on here as well with Freeway. Rockefeller, Freeway, State Property.
Speaking of Lloyd Banks, man, he been on a little run with his features. Like,
Yeah,
I don't think he's
yeah,
had a bad feature in the last 4, 5 years. Like, he
yeah,
been going
yeah.
crazy for real.
He's been quietly still out here. I know a lot of people, of
Yeah.
course, the people that be making the most noise out of the G Unit crew is J.O. and 50 and stuff like that. But as far
Mhm.
as like rap, Lloyd Banks has really, returned to rap form. He kind of got quiet for a couple
Mhm.
of years, but like you said, for the last, about 4 or 5 years, he's
Yeah,
been
he
real
been on a
active.
nice little run.
He's been on a nice little run, been real active. So yeah, shout out to Lloyd Banks, man. One of the best to ever do it, far as like, punchlines and, giving those bars and,
Yeah,
shit like
definitely.
that. So yeah, I enjoyed the album. So these out of the projects we want to talk about, these are pretty much my two favorites. Like I said, Rhapsody, she's always consistent, one of the most consistent. And
Okay.
Ransom, he's consistent as well. He always have something. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
So of the 4 that we talked about or that we're gonna talk about, these are your top 2, Ransom and,
I would say
Rhapsody?
because on the other
Okay.
two, I didn't really finish as
Mhm.
much. The Primo rights, I was listening to it. I haven't gotten through all of it, but yeah,
Okay.
that was nice. That's the one I guess we'll talk about next. Well, right now, actually, Primo Rice joint, Another Night at the Chateau,
Yeah,
actually
that's
a
the
sequel to his 2009 album, if I'm not mistaken. It was called A Night at the Chateau. 2019.
2009?
Yeah,
Oh, I'm about to say,
2019. Yeah,
damn.
2019. Yeah,
Okay, okay.
2019 album, Night at the Chateau, and this is, I guess, the continuation part 2, Another Night at the Chateau. So, yeah, I listened
Okay.
to some of this. I didn't finish all of it, but what I've heard so far, I'm really enjoying it. What are your thoughts? Did you get through all of this one? Finish it?
Yeah, I did. This is the first one I listened to. This one I
Oh,
listened to
okay.
before you even put the list out,
Oh,
just because
okay.
I was curious. Cause like
Okay.
Primo, he's from my area. He's from PG County. So like
Oh, nice.
he always just been in like I've always seen his name, you know what I'm saying? I've been seeing
Yeah.
he be having shows. He had a couple shows in DC not too long ago. And you know what I'm saying? I've always heard him on features. He got that song Jill Scott with Currency and stuff like that. It's kind of like, all right, cool. I like this guy, but I never just tapped into a full album. So like I saw that this album was coming out, but right before I saw that, our mutual friend on Instagram, Andretti Badu, she sent me her playlist. All Primo Rice songs. And it's like old stuff, 2020, 2021. And I was really rocking with it. And like we kind of talked about PFG a couple weeks ago about how like some of his North Carolina stuff went over my head just because I'm not from the area. Like him being so close in proximity, I was catching all his little references and all that. And that just like gives you an extra level of, okay, cool, I like this guy. So now I really like it. I was a big fan of it. I saw this interview. He was saying people compare him to Larry June. And obviously they're two different style of artists, but I can see why people make that comparison because of like you know what I'm saying, some of the references, their subject matter, that whole, you know what I'm saying, keep it P type vibe. So I get why people make that comparison, but completely different. He's definitely puts on for the area, and I'm a big fan of him, you know what I'm saying? Even when it comes down to his little radio skits, like, they be kinda like hints of our 93.9 out here and stuff like that. So I really
Okay.
like it. I really like it. It's definitely a nice little homegrown joint. As far as the songs, kinda similar to the, Rhapsody one, there's a lot of songs on here. Peace and Chain, that's number 2. That's probably my favorite.
Okay.
He shouts out a bunch of people at the end, and you know what I'm saying, just kinda some of the things he was saying that really kinda stuck with me. Trim is good, fun song, the Chateau song. That one song, Last Time in Vegas, I like Jay Worthy and I love Akeem Ali's music, but I couldn't really hop on board with that. It was just something that was throwing me off. Like, I listened to it in my car with the subs on, and I'm like, man, I can't even really hear what they saying. The bass is like drowning it out. So I ran it back when I got to the gym with my beats on. And it's a good song. Like, I like what they were saying. It was just something about the combination of their verses and the production I couldn't fully embrace. But their verses individually, I really like what they were saying though. So that's
Okay.
another song that kind of caught my attention. And then of course, What You Know with Larry June, that's a good one too. So a lot of good
Yeah.
songs on here.
Yeah.
GBH, that feature, I mean that sample on GBH, great feature. It's not even on Apple Music, so they had to dig deep in the crates for that feature for that sample.
Alright.
But nah, great album. I really like this album.
Okay. Alright. He's another artist that I just found out about. I think I found out about him actually, what, last year, if I'm not mistaken, Primo Rice.
Okay.
I forgot what he dropped, but yeah, he seemed to be very consistent. I'm not really too familiar. I got to go back and revisit a lot of his music and stuff like that, but he seems like he's really one of them ones on the come up. Like are you like you
Yeah.
too familiar with him? Like how's his overall style is? I know you said he's kind of be compared to Larry June. Like what
That's
is the
the consensus as far as comparison. I wouldn't say that, like, their style is different. You're not gonna hear any
okay.
type of Larry when you hear him, but I think with me, I think that I resonate with him so much because 'cause we're around the same age and we grew up in the same, like, metro area, so, like I said, a lot of his references, like, he references, like, go-go bands and stuff like that.
Okay.
So stuff like that, I would just automatically pick up with. It's kinda like when you listen to, like, a Wale or a Fat Trell, like, they just say stuff when they talk about a certain metro stop or going to Dulles, like, stuff like that, you kinda just resonate with, and it's like, "Oh, they shouting out my area type," so it
Yeah.
kinda gives that vibe. But his style is really given like super laid back. Like they say lifestyle rap, so they'll put like a Mussolini in that category or like a Larry June or like people like that. They don't really talk about too much like tough stuff. They just talk about like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I got this nice car, I got these pretty ladies, I got these nice clothes. You know what I'm saying? Let's ride out. Kind of like a modern day like almost Currency. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as his subject matter, it's like super positive and just you know what I'm saying? You if I did it, you can do it too type of music. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I get from it. And I'm kind of new to it too. Like I said, I've been new about him, but I didn't really tap in
Yeah,
until like
you
a
ain't
month
ready to
ago.
tap in.
But
Oh, too. Oh,
I
damn.
appreciate the message. You know what I'm saying? In comparison to we all love our trap music, but I'm not really trying to hear somebody cooking coke and killing people all day. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of a nice change of pace. You know, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's what's up. I see he has a lot of stuff on here because I'm on here on Apple
Yeah.
Music and stuff, looking at a lot of his catalog. So he seemed to be very active. You
Yeah, I put
know.
out the review for this, and everybody in the comments like, "Oh, if you like this, you need to check out this
Oh,
and this
word.
and that." And I got like 10 recommendations off his catalog, so he got a bunch of stuff.
Okay, Primo Rice. Okay, that's what's up, man. I know a lot of people haven't heard of him. You know, he's on
Yeah,
his
he
come up,
getting
but I
out there
think
though.
he got the potential. He definitely has the potential. What I heard, like I said, I didn't really get a chance to listen to this whole project, but what I've heard so far, yeah, it definitely caught my ear. So I'm looking forward to listening to this one and going back to listen to the rest of his stuff that he have. So yeah, so Peace and Chain 2, Baby Fever, and all that
That's
kind of
another
stuff.
one. Baby Fever is a good one too.
Okay, okay, all right, Baby Fever, all right. I kind of can get
Yeah.
a. Is that what's that kind of like a love song or something like that?
Nah,
What? No,
it's
oh,
the
it's not.
opposite of a love. It's about
Oh,
the
okay.
ladies, but not about love. You feel
Okay,
me? Like,
gotcha. Okay, okay, okay.
the name throws it off, but nah, it's a good song though.
Oh,
It's
okay.
definitely a great song.
Okay, I see where you're going with that. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I definitely wanna play it, man. Imma listen to it. But yeah, that's pretty much it far as this album. Like I said, I didn't really get a chance to listen to all of it. I love the name of it, Another
yeah,
Night at the Chateau, so I love that. So, he got some hitters on here, Larry June, he got an album of the year, candidate with his album that came out, what, a month or so ago now?
yeah. Who
Or
copping? Yeah, that was a
yeah,
good one
okay, yeah,
too.
that was a good album. So, yeah, okay. So that's what's up.
Yeah, once you start getting those big name features and producers, that's how you know you on your way if you're not
Yeah,
there
you're on your
already.
way.
So
Yeah, exactly,
yeah.
exactly. Yeah, okay. I see Reason drop some. I didn't get a chance to listen to it. No, you too. Are you familiar with him? He used to be down with Top Dog. I
I
think he
mean, I
left.
heard his music. I've never listened to a full Reason album though.
Okay. Yeah, he dropped
Yeah, I
something.
think that's who I was thinking of when we was talking earlier about Ransom, and I was saying there was another artist that was coming up when I heard his name. I think
Oh
it
yeah,
was
yeah,
Reason,
yeah.
but yeah, but nah, I've heard his features, but I never tapped into a whole Reason album.
Okay. Yeah, it's called Everything in My Soul is Moving Towards Love. That's
Oh
the name
wow,
of it.
it
And
just
Busta
came out.
Rhymes. Yeah, yeah. It
I saw
showed up
Busta
on
Rhymes
me.
drop
Yeah.
it.
Busta Rhymes, the
Yeah,
Jay Dilla thing just dropped. I haven't tapped into that. I listened to the song that he dropped on Instagram. It's pretty good. I
what's the name
like
of the
it.
album? It's like something Dilla in the album, right? Like
Diligence, like
Diligence.
yeah,
Yeah, there
like
you
a
go.
play on Jay Dilla name,
Yeah.
Diligence 2. Yeah, so that, I wanna check that out. Busta Rhymes legend, he gets busy, of course. Everybody know Busta, one of
hmm
the best to ever do it.
One of the
Catalog is
most
crazy.
creative minds in hip hop,
Yeah,
man. The
exactly,
music videos was going crazy.
yeah, Busta Rhymes, he never disappoints, man. He gets bit to me, I think he's a little underrated when it comes to, like, far as they don't never mention him when it comes to, like, top lyricists, like, rappers. Like, Busta get busy, man. It
I agree. I was listening. What song was it?
Busta can rap, bro.
When 38 Special dropped, he had a Busta Rhymes feature on there, and I did a little review, and I was saying how like Busta Rhymes, I feel like he don't get that same recognition because you know what I'm saying, the style that people fell in love with. I feel like he doesn't necessarily embrace that style no more, and I feel like people kind of know him for his current style instead of what he did for the first 15, 20 years of his career, and that's why I feel like people are torn on where to put him in as far as one of the greats. But no, I agree. I really like Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, Busta dope, man. Busta dope. And one of my favorite producers, one of the greatest producers ever, the Alchemist, him and Erica Badu
Oh, that come out
announced.
tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
2
yeah,
days?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This Friday, right?
You heard
Yeah,
Witch Doctor?
I heard some. I didn't go back and I gotta go back and listen to that. I'm glad
That's
you
the
said
single
it.
they dropped
Yeah,
like
the
2 weeks
single they
ago.
dropped. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
like
for
that one.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they
That's gonna
announced
be a good
their.
album.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be incredible. I can't wait to listen to that. They got West Side Gun gonna be on there. Some more people. They did it like the track
Thundercat on
listing.
there too.
Yeah, before the world blows. So that's an interesting title.
That's the name of the album?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, see, when they dropped the single, the album title on Apple Music says, "Sorry, we don't know what the name is
yeah,
yet."
yeah,
So
yeah. So
I was wondering if that was gonna be the name of the album when it
that
came
would
out.
that would be kind of dope. If they
Yeah.
would've left it like that, that would be kinda dope. So, yeah, they dropped I think they dropped the album title yesterday, or was that
Okay,
today? It was
okay.
one of them, but it's
Yeah,
called
that joint
Before the
come out
World
soon.
Blows, so I'm excited to listen to that one. That should be dope. Hope they drop some vinyl to go
Yeah,
with it. Definitely have to add that to the collect. 2 of my favorites. I'm a big Erykah Badu fan, who don't love Erykah Badu and The
right.
Alchemist teaming up, so that should be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that one.
Okay. And yeah, so I guess that pretty much wraps it up as far as the albums is concerned. I was listening to an interview, man, with my man, what's his name? Hit Boy. Him, with the Nas thing, and it kind of
Yeah, I
took me
heard
for
about
a
that
loop.
today.
He said him and Nas
Yeah.
haven't talked. Like, I
In
guess
3
it's
years, it's crazy.
yeah, I thought it was like tight, close, man.
I
That
mean, we grown men. Sometimes we get caught up in our own lives. It
yeah,
don't mean
that's
they
true.
beefing just because they ain't talking.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true. I hope not, man. Cause I love their
yeah,
dynamic, and hopefully we can get some more music from them, man. So I hope it's still love.
yeah.
I was like, damn, yeah, you ain't talked to Nas, like. But like you said, you get caught up, man. Nas a busy man. He's busy,
hmm
I'm sure his phone ringing off the hook. People wanting, beats and all kind of stuff. So Nas, he running his thing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll get back together and bless us with some stuff. So I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that. And West Side Gun on this Erykah Badu and Alchemist joint
he on that
twice.
twice, right?
Yeah, he on that
Yeah,
twice. That's what's
that's
up.
gonna be tough. That must be crazy to be a modern day rapper and get 2 features on the Erykah Badu album with the Alchemist. Like that got to
Yeah,
be a bucket list type thing.
that's gonna be crazy. Steve
Yeah.
Lacy on here. Yeah.
You like Steve Lacy?
Yeah, I like some of his stuff. I ain't gonna say I'm a big fan or I listen to a lot of his
Mm,
stuff, but what I heard, I like some of it. What
okay.
about yourself?
Nah, I heard his name. I never heard his music
Oh,
though.
you know.
Yeah, I know a lot of ladies love him though, but I
Yeah,
never
yeah,
sat
yeah,
down and
yeah.
heard his music though. I ain't gonna lie to
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, like I said, I listen to some stuff. I never listened to a whole album or nothing like that. So,
Mm.
but yeah, it should be interesting. I'm sure they're
Yeah,
not gonna disappoint.
yeah, no, it's harder to embrace like modern day male R&B artists, you know what I'm saying? Like I be wanting to, but it just don't be connecting like the older stuff does.
It
To
don't
me,
hit
at
the
least. To me
same.
personally, you know.
It don't hit the same. That's why I was glad to see my man Joe and him and Darnell Jones when they did that verses last week.
Oh
Like,
man, hey
like
yo, Donnell Jones. I mean, obviously I knew about him from all his stuff back in the day, but I started listening to him like recently, like maybe like a month ago. And that one album, what was the name of that album? That like, oh, I can't think of the name, but that one album with all his like super major hits, Where I Want to Be, that album
yeah.
is crazy, bro.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
album.
That album was amazing. One of the best
Yeah,
R&B albums of all time, in my humble opinion.
absolutely. Yeah, I was listening to that. I was
That
listening
was
to that earlier today, actually.
Yeah. But my man Joe, I'm a big Joe fan. Joe, yeah, Joe, Joe that nigga, man. He
Hmm.
always been smooth. He got that kind of delivery and stuff like that to bring it
He
home.
got that cheat code though. He bought out
Yeah.
50 Cent with
I
that
know,
Big
right?
Rich Town. Like, bro, he bought out the bazooka with that
Yeah,
one. Like,
yeah.
damn.
Yeah. So, Joe been in it for a long time, back in the early 90s when he had hair. So Joe been
Hmm.
around for a minute, man. So he's definitely no slouch. He got hits, for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Yeah, so but yeah, anything else you want to add? Any other music? Anything else you want to talk about? I guess before we wrap it up.
Yeah, I got a couple if you got time,
Yeah,
just
go
to
ahead,
see. I
go
just
ahead.
want to kind of get a sense of. So Ninth Wonder and Mussolini dropped the Don and I 3 like 2 weeks ago. Have you heard that at all?
I ain't heard that.
Oh man, that's a great album. I didn't hear about Mussolini until like maybe a month ago, and I found out about him because he liked one of my posts on Instagram, and
Oh,
then I looked on his page and I saw he was on Sway in the Morning, and I tapped into his music. So yeah, they dropped the album. That was a really good album. I listened to that Surrender by Navy Blue. You texted
oh
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
listened to that one.
Pretty
That's
good.
a cool album. It's
Yeah.
super theatrical. Like you feel like you in the movie theaters listening to that one. So that was a cool little album.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get your thoughts on. I sent you Beast Coast, Escape from New York. I wanted to get
Oh
what your thoughts
yeah,
was on
yeah.
that.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the album, man. I got to
Okay.
look it back up because it was like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. Like the albums that you sent me, man. Let me see. It's cool. Yeah. But yeah, the Beast Coast album, yeah, I enjoy. I didn't realize it came out 2019.
Yeah, it was on. They took it off streaming for like 5 years. It just came back on streaming in like April of this year.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
had no idea that they formed like a super group and released the
yeah.
album, man. I didn't know that. So you definitely put me on to a gem right there, man. Like the
I be
Joy.
trying to tell people.
Yeah, yeah. If you don't know who we talking about, it's basically Joey Badass, Flatbush Zombies. Who else? The Underachievers
Underachievers, Pro Era.
and Pro Era, yeah, basically came together, did like a compilation group album type thing. Yeah, that was dope, man. I love like, even from the first song, man, how they approached it with the beat, the aggression, and
Hmm.
everything, man. Yeah, that shit was fire. That was a nice
Yeah, I
recommendation.
like this.
I started and everything. It's in my favorites on Apple Music.
Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to put people on, man. That's a gem right there. A lot of people don't
It
know about
is.
it, but if you
I
know,
never
you
heard
know.
of it. I never heard of this.
Yeah. I got the poster right here, and people be like commenting, like, "What you know about Beast Coast?" I be having to let people know, like, that's the jump right there. Like,
Oh,
that
for
joint
real?
go crazy. Yeah,
That's what's up, man.
yeah, I like
Hopefully we
that.
get something else from them, man. I never knew anything about this album. Never knew it existed until you sent it to me.
Yeah, no, that
So
was a good one. I kind of made it. I posted something like petitioning them to make another one, but I think it's like a label thing because they had to fight for like a long time to get it back on streaming. And then even when I posted like a clip of it on YouTube, and the label that owns the album, they like shot it down in like 10
yeah,
seconds. So I feel like it's a label thing going on. I feel like that's what's making it so hard for them to
probably so.
want to do it again. And probably like because they own individual record deals, and it's probably just hard for them to come together and still like decide who's gonna make the money from the album. So that's my assumption at least.
Probably so. Politics. Label
Because they
politics.
struck that. Usually they'll let it sit up for like 5-10 minutes. That thing got shot down in like 10 seconds. I'm
Yeah, they
like,
shut it
dang.
down. They blocked it.
Yeah, yeah. Globally. Like, damn.
I trust me, I know. I be getting them blocks
Yeah.
all the time. I got one the other day.
Yeah.
They be blocking, especially when when you do them reactions, they're like it's blocked in this
Mhm.
territory or is this blocked?
Yeah.
So
Russia, hey, look, I don't want to say the name, but there's this one country out in Europe. They don't be letting their people see nothing. All my videos get blocked out there. I'm like, oh my God.
yeah,
They probably don't even got the internet out there.
yeah. So they be blocking it. As long as you don't get no flag, as long as I don't get no, no strike. You
Yeah.
can block it all day. You can't monetize, can't make no money off of it. All right, cool. But when they start
Right.
striking, I mean, now your channel in jeopardy then. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Have
but
you have you heard of a producer named Girl Talk?
nah, I don't think so.
Okay, so Girl Talk, he's like I guess he's new. I don't know how long he's been out, but like maybe 2 years ago now, he dropped a compilation album or like a feature album with Wiz Khalifa, Big Crit, and Smoke DZA. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice little album, cool joint. He did all the production and they was just rapping. Bunch
Oh,
of
that's
good
cool.
songs on there. But he just dropped a recent album with these two rappers called Michael Christmas and Chris Crack. And I heard a couple Jones, and like the guy that put me onto it, he was saying it's kind of like a comedy rap. Like they rapping, but they like, you know what I'm saying, on some joke time. But the couple songs that I heard, it's really good. So I would recommend that too. I want to
Oh,
listen to the whole thing before I put my stamp on it. But the few songs that I heard, they pretty cool. I like that. But now Girl
okay.
Talk, he kind of like he's a nice little producer. I ain't gonna call him little. He's a nice producer though.
Okay.
He got his stuff on there. But the one
Yeah.
with Big Crit and Wiz in them, that was a really nice album that came out a couple years
Nice.
ago.
Okay, that's what's up. Big Crit, another one, man. He's a dope producer, another
Yeah.
underrated artist that a lot of people don't talk about nearly enough. You know, Big Crit get busy, man. So he been around
Yeah,
for a minute.
definitely.
You know. Okay, okay, that's what's up. I'm trying to think. Any other joints came out? You know, or
Have you heard I think we talked about it briefly. Have you heard of Akeem Ali?
yeah, yeah, I've heard them.
Did you hear his new joint, Texture
Nah,
Tape 3?
nah,
Oh
I
my
haven't heard
god,
it.
bro. Bro, please go listen to that
It's like
album.
that.
That
Okay.
album is crazy, bro. And like, you know, he's known for like his rapping, but he got into his like my man was giving like 1985 Bobby Brown type vibes on that joint. Like he was going crazy on that. I really like that album. That's a good album. So I'd
Okay.
recommend that. But other than that, no, I mean, we talked about kind of all the other ones that I got in my recently downloaded at least. So, but
Okay.
nah, that one Texture Tape 3, that's a good one, bro. I would definitely recommend that.
Okay.
And
Cool.
that Denzel Curry one I sent you,
Yeah,
Unlocked 2.
I was just about to say about that one. I didn't get a chance to really listen to it a little bit. What are your thoughts on it?
I love it. I'm a huge Denzel Curry fan. Like he got a bunch of spots in my record collection. Like Denzel Curry, my thing is I feel like his superpower, like we was talking about Ransom superpower is his pen. Denzel's superpower is his flow and his energy. Like his energy be crazy on every song. And Kenny Beats kind of feeds into that energy. So I feel like when they get together, they make some bangers, bro. Like I really like the first Unlocked. And 1.5, they kind of mixed at the production in there, but when they came back with 2, same energy, bro. I really like it. Like Denzel Curry has a lot of stuff, and I always ask people, you know, some people hear about him, some people don't. Like Imperial, which I think is his debut, is probably his best still, but Unlock 2, I really like that. I can get down with this. So
Alright.
if you haven't heard it, I wouldn't. If you haven't heard Denzel Curry, I wouldn't tell you to start here. But if you
Okay.
have heard Denzel Curry, I would say this is a great album to listen to.
Worth the listen. Okay. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
definitely.
And
But
9
if you haven't
songs,
heard him,
23
start with
minutes.
Imperial because that's the one.
Okay, start in. Okay. All right, cool. Gotta give him a listen, man. I'm not too familiar. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too familiar with Denzel. I heard his name, but I
Mhm.
haven't really checked for a lot of his music like that. So, but you said he's definitely worth the listen?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that Imperial album, Taboo, what was the other one? Zoo, and then the 2 Unlocks. Yeah, he got a bunch of stuff. And he's one of those guys that he has enough cachet where he can get those bigger features. So he can get like a Rick Ross or a Joey Badass or a West Side Gun to get on his features, and it just, you know what I'm saying, it just makes for obviously better music. So nah, he's definitely nice.
Oh,
And you
he
know,
like
to get I feel like with those bigger rappers, they're not just doing features for the pay. I feel like they gotta have some shred of respect for who they getting on the song with. So
yeah.
that kind of gives you a sense of where he's staying too. But nah, I like him. He's a good rapper.
Yeah, like you said, I'm glad you said it because I think Jay-Z said that. He said he don't charge for a feature. It just, if he feeling the song, he'll do it. If he don't,
Really? I did not know
yeah,
that.
that's what he said. He said he don't charge for
Hmm.
features. I mean, it kind of made sense. Jay-Z probably like, man, half of these niggas won't even be able to afford me if I charge.
Yeah, that's true.
I take their whole budget. I'm Jay-Z. I would literally take their whole budget. So he was like, if I like it and I get on it. But he said he don't charge for features. I like,
I did
damn.
not know that.
Yeah,
That's funny you say that because,
yeah.
you know,
It
that
kind of
whole
made sense.
Jadakiss, that whole Jadakiss 38 Special thing. He was saying like, I didn't get like, because the whole thing is, oh, Jadakiss takes forever to send his verses back, and Jadakiss, I think he was on like Breakfast Club or something. He was like, nah, I only take forever if I don't rock with you like that. So I thought that was a funny little.
That's kind of like a
But Friday,
telltale
because I
sign.
think it was a throwback. But you heard Friday on Elm Street with Fabulous and Jadakiss came out
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
2017. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
to that a couple days ago too.
Okay. That's
Yeah,
my
but nah, I like shout out to all the legends, man. They can do what they want at this point. They've been doing it for 30 years.
They earned it, man. They earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of, I was going back listening to some old stuff as well. I was listening to Watch the Throne this week.
Can I make a confession right here on national TV?
Yeah, go ahead.
I never heard that full album, bro.
What? You never heard "Watch the Throne"? The whole
I heard
album?
the singles. I heard maybe I heard maybe 4 or 5
No.
songs, but and they say it's like one of the best albums ever. I never
Hold
listened
up. Let me
to
make sure
and
we
it's not
talking
even like
about.
I'm protesting or boycotting or nothing. I just never sat down and listened to the full Watch the Throne.
Ew.
And I know I'm tripping, and I feel like at what point is it too late to go back? But nah,
Hell, you never listened to "Watch the Throne"? Jay-Z
nah,
and
bro. And I
Kanye.
love Kanye. I love Kanye. And I have a healthy amount of respect for Jay-Z. I never listened to that album.
Damn, I
That's
get
the one
it.
with niggas in Paris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get it.
nah, I
It's
never heard the
a
whole
lot
album.
of, I can't think of it off my head, but it's a lot of albums that everybody be talking about. I'm like, man, I never even listened to the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
And I
lie.
know I'm probably gonna get fried for that being
Yeah.
a quote unquote hip hop fan, but nah, bro, I never tapped in. I'm gonna listen to it though. This week I'm gonna listen to it and I'm gonna have some thoughts on it.
Yeah, it'd be like that, bro. It'd be like that. It like with movies. I know it kind of like on subject, but like a movie, some people be talking about, and it's a classic. And I'm like, damn, bro, I never even sat through the whole movie. I never watched the whole
Nah,
thing. You
you right,
know,
bro.
I could think of one off the bat. Casino. Like a lot
I
of
was
people.
just thinking that. I swear I was just thinking that. Once I saw that scene when he was in the car and it turned into a mannequin and it blew up, I'm like, all
Yeah.
right, man, I'm out of here. I ain't watching this. I'm like, man, what? That's so funny. I was thinking that same movie when you brought up movies. That's
Yeah,
funny.
so Casino, I never watched the whole thing for some reason. I don't know why. But Goodfellas,
That
yeah, I
because of that
watched all the
scene.
Goodfellas. I watched, but for some reason, I watch. I watched those type of movies, but I don't know why I just never got through the whole Casino movie. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah. Nah, I'm with you,
It'd
bro.
be
That's
like
a
that's
lot of movies I haven't
that's
seen.
my point. It be like that sometimes, and these are like classic movies or albums, and some things you just you know you
Yeah, I'm
just
with you,
like,
bro. Casino is definitely one. I think I refuse at this point. I refuse to watch the Titanic, bro. Like,
oh, I never
cause
even seen that shit. I don't
yeah,
care.
cause I grew up with all sisters, and they was so pressed about that movie, like it was the best thing ever. I'm like, man, I don't even watch that,
I
and
don't know.
I never went back to watch it.
Oh, word. I watched a
Yeah,
little
but
bit
I
of
think
it,
I'm
but
good.
shit long. I don't
I
care
get the
what.
references. I seen the clips. I'm good. I don't
Yeah,
think I
I'm
need to
good.
see
I'm
that
good. I'm
movie.
good.
That
Yeah.
ain't that. I don't think that's targeted towards my demographic
Yeah,
anyway.
exactly.
To be honest.
Exactly, man. But yeah, it'd be like that though. It's
So
a
would you
lot
say
of
it's a movie that you haven't seen that your black car would be in jeopardy?
damn. None that I would say that's like certified classics. I
Okay.
wouldn't say no. I think I've seen
Okay.
all the black movies that everybody I don't think that I could think of off the head. What about yourself?
No, not really. I mean, I don't know if this is considered a certified black classic, but I was watching 85 South Show and they brought it up. I never seen South Central, and some people swear by that movie, but I never
I
seen
ain't
that.
seen it.
I
I ain't
think
gonna lie.
that's the one like the OG Bobby Johnson joke. Like I
Yeah,
never
yeah,
seen
yeah,
that.
yeah. I haven't seen that
Yeah,
shit in a long time. It's been a while.
yeah. I
I
never seen
seen
that
it, but
movie.
it's been a while. I seen Crooklyn, South Central, of course, Boys in the Hood, A Menace to Society.
Yeah, I seen all those. I never seen. I don't know if this counts either, but I've been here seeing a lot of clips about people talking about how the women on Waiting to Exhale were terrible people. I haven't seen that movie either, so I couldn't even.
Never
I had
seen Way Too
no.
Exhale?
Bro,
Shit.
that kid. I mean, I was born in '92. Like
Oh,
when I
okay.
was of age to see that movie, it was already out of context. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like, but
okay.
I'm seeing they tearing these women up online, talking about they trifling and they can't stay out of married men's beds and all type of
Yeah,
crazy stuff.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
man, they
yeah.
was in there tripping. But no, I never seen that movie.
Okay, you never seen it? I haven't watched it in a long time, but I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen pretty much Love Jones. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. All the like anything that came out after I'd say 96, 97, that's considered a black classic, I can say that I've seen outside of
yeah.
those two. I don't even know what year those two movies came out, but I try to be tapped into the classics at
Way
least.
Too Exhale came out in '95, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
So
yeah. See, I was 3. Like that
yeah,
wasn't,
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, so like I said, I think I've seen them pretty much, Coming to America, Harlem
Oh
Nights.
man. Anything with Eddie Murphy, I
Yeah,
seen,
anything
even the
with Eddie
bad ones.
Murphy. I seen them, of course, Friday, Juice, New Jack City. Yeah,
Okay.
I
Speaking
don't
of Eddie
think.
Murphy, let me get your opinion on something.
Yeah, yeah.
So
What's up?
I posted this video a couple days ago, and they gave you the choices, and you can only pick one. And the choices were Life, Boomerang, Coming to America, and what's the other one? Harlem Nights. Of those 4, which one would you pick? And the rest got to go. Tough, right? I'm curious because everybody in the comments had a consensus answer, and it wasn't my answer.
For me, out of those 4, off top, I would say Life can go. I
That's
love
what
Life,
everybody said.
but Life
Everybody
can
said,
go.
oh, you said Life can go.
Yeah, to
Oh,
me.
everybody picked Life.
What? Oh,
Everybody picked
what?
Life.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Life
So
was
Life can
great.
go.
Yeah, for me,
Okay.
Boomerang. Boomerang I like that because it was kind of different. Playboy Eddie Murphy, but it's not better than Harlem Nights and Coming to America for me.
Fair.
So now
I
I'm
ain't mad
down
at
to
that.
Harlem Nights and Coming to America. Damn, Harlem Nights had some hitters in there. Richard
It did.
Pryor, Red Fox, Robert Harris. Shit. But I'm gonna
Something that
go.
could never be done again, I'll
Yeah,
tell you
yeah,
that.
yeah, exactly. Some legends. But I'm gonna go with Coming to America.
Coming to America.
I'm gonna go with
Okay.
Coming. I would say Coming to
That's a
America.
solid pick.
I fuck with Coming. Like just something about it. The royalty, the African royalty coming to America. Within the name. Finding the girl and the story behind it.
The comedy
I'm
moments, the
Yeah, the comedy
characters.
moments, the
Yeah.
characters. So I'm gonna go with Coming to America. If I had to choose, but them picking, and I love Life now. Like you said, Eddie Murphy. We can't go no wrong with Eddie Murphy, but
Right.
but
Yeah, no, I think Life maybe it's the generation of my algorithm, but, Life was kinda like a little bit more recent than a
yeah.
lot of the other ones, so I can see why people pick that, but I pick Boomerang. I
Oh,
pick
you pick
Boomerang
Boomerang?
over all of them.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's a
Boomerang,
good pick.
that's kinda like when I was a kid growing up, I pictured my life looking like Eddie Murphy's character
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie, like a nice
I
job,
idolize
nice
that nigga.
crib, you know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That
that's why I
smooth
picked.
playboy. It was like an executive, marketing executive or
Yeah,
something like
executive
that.
marketing.
Yeah.
Robin Givens and Halle Berry on his line?
Now,
Bro, when I
now
was 8, 9 years old, that was
man,
me.
yeah. He had the women in there. But yeah, Boomerang. That to me, that's third. Harlem Nights number
Okay.
two, but number one, if I had to, I'm going with Coming to America. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
that's tough.
James Earl Jones, man, as the dad, the king. I mean, just everything about Coming to America, man. A City Hall. It had
Yeah, I
everything.
liked it. Did
Yeah,
you think number 2 was reasonable, or did you hate it like a lot of people hated it? Coming to America 2.
shit, man. Nobody asked for that. Man, they could have kept it.
He said
Who
nobody.
the hell asked for Coming to America 2, damn near 40 years later? I was like, what?
Oh, that's funny.
It
That's
was
funny. I mean,
I watched it one time and never went back. I watched it one time because I had to say I watched it,
yeah,
never
yeah,
went
yeah.
back to watch the shit. And it's on Amazon Prime. And it's been 6 years now, 5, 6 years. Never don't think about watching it.
I
What was your thoughts on it?
I mean, honestly, I ain't gonna sit there and say I've only watched it once too, but people be so hard on movies, and I thought it was cool. You know what I'm saying, for
No,
what it was. Eddie Murphy was kind of trying to get back out into the limelight. That was a classic. He brought up a lot of newer stars, so the story could have been a little bit different, but I wasn't mad at it. It wasn't like slop. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I
but
never
nobody
went back to
but
it
nobody
again.
asked for it though. Like, all right,
Yeah, that's
okay,
true.
are you one of those people like leave the classics alone? Like we shouldn't remake classics?
Nah, I'm like, put us back in that world. You know what I'm saying? Like Varnell Hill getting his own show,
Yeah, yeah, I heard
stuff
about
like
that.
that. Denver World getting a spinoff of Bel Air. Like, I'm cool. Like, all right, cool. Like, because I always look at these shows, right? I always look at it like, man, I couldn't imagine living in my life today, but like in the times of like a Martin or a Fresh Prince where there's no cell phones and there's no GPS and stuff. So it's like, I mean, they're just like, okay, cool. Let's take our favorite universes and give them modern day technology. And let's see how that show plays out when they got iPhones and Instagram and stuff like that. So I'm not mad at it, like, as
If
long as
it's
they
done
don't disrespect the
Yeah,
classic,
yeah, yeah, yeah. If it's
I'm
done
cool.
right, but a lot of people think is leave the classes alone. We need new storylines. We need new.
Now with movies, it's different. Like movies, I think, all right, cool. We don't need a remake. If you want to continue the story, cool, but don't remake the same movie just because it made a lot of money back
Yeah.
then. So, but with shows, I'm cool with a show because with a show, you have more time to get like immersed into these characters' lives. Like with Power, with all the spinoffs, even with Snowfall getting their spinoff, it's like we spent 6, 7 years with these people. It's not like a movie where we was with them for 2 hours. We spent like 8 years with Ghost and them. So to give us 5, 6 more years of that same world, I'm cool. I'm with it.
And now that we on, when we just talked about, that's another one I never watched Power. I watched
My God.
I watched one episode and never see. That's what we talking about. That's another.
Watch the throne in Power.
I'm
Oh
glad
my
you said that. That's
God.
another one. I be hearing people swearing by it, talking
Brother.
about. I never watched. I watched one episode.
First episode?
Yeah, when it first came out, I never went back to it. That's another one.
What is it? You didn't like it, or you just didn't have the time?
I liked it. I don't know if I got ADHD or what. If that shit don't catch my attention in like 2 minutes, man, I just
Brother. Have you seen like The Wire and Snowfall?
Oh yeah. The Wire, Snowfall. I never finished all of it, but I have watched it. I haven't finished all of it though, but I have watched, but Power only like one episode.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that prime example of
Yeah,
stuff
no, that's a
classic
big one.
people talk about that I never watched Power. I
So when
have
people talk
no
about
idea.
like Raising Kanan and Tommy and all, you don't know
I
nothing about
I don't
that.
know nothing about that shit. I be
See,
hearing
I
people
wish
talk.
I could have your brain right now and go back and rewatch Power again without knowing how it's gonna end.
Oh, really?
Man, that'd be so nice. Man, Power is amazing. Shout out 50 Cent. He did a hell of a job to the point where he took the control from the network. That show was so good. Like when he was threatening to leave, they had to basically bow down to his every need because
Yeah.
Power was basically like, let me tell you something. Power is the reason why Stars still exist to this day, in my opinion.
Hell yeah.
And
I
when you
don't think
leave
that's an
after the
opinion.
season is over, they beg you to stay.
Yeah, I don't even think that's
So,
an opinion. I think that's a fact. If it wasn't for
bro,
Power,
like
Stars probably out
Power
of
is
business.
crazy. Yeah, Power is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
Like
people
if
swear
you
by
have
it,
the
man.
time, if you ever have the time and need something to watch, just give it another chance, man.
I-
I'll say this with any show. Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, whatever show you
yeah.
want to name.
Yeah.
You gotta give it like 3 episodes
Yeah.
before you decide if
Breaking
you want to keep
Bad,
going or
yeah,
not.
that shit good.
Yeah.
And Game of Thrones, that like you said, you gotta give it time because it starts off slow. You gotta give
Super
it about
slow.
3 or 4 episodes, and next thing you know, it start
Mhm.
picking up. Then you be like, okay, I see the hype. And I was like
Yeah, no, that
that
was
show on Netflix called Ozark, I think that's what.
Oh
Where
yeah, I seen that too. You seen
that shit was,
Ozark?
yeah, it was boring at first, but then after a
Yeah.
couple
That opening episode though, when
Yeah.
they came and took out his homie, I was like, oh Lord. I already knew what was good.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, Power, man, that I'm surprised I ain't think of that one first. I never watched it.
Yeah, no, I mean, Snowfall. So you how far did you get into Snowfall? Like when
A
you say
couple
you
of
never
episodes.
finished?
A couple of episodes.
Oh man,
Yeah. A couple episodes, man.
my brother.
I gotta get on it. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta get on it, man. I got
I
into
mean,
a couple.
between those two, I feel like that Power is a better show, but Snowfall is quote unquote based on real events. So, to watch Snowfall and see the stuff that takes place and be like, wow, the government was really on this type of time, like it kind of adds another level to it. So, and it's shorter too, so it's easier to digest. And, it put on a lot of like stars that we know to this day got their start on that show. So both great shows. They're both great shows. And now, Snowfall got a spinoff now. And it's kind of tapped into what we do. Like the spinoff is they're not telling crack no more. Like the ones that survived, they got into the music game. So it's about like LA music in like the 90s, like around that like NWA, Snoop Dogg era. So it's supposed to be really cool.
Dope. Is it out yet? Coming out?
I think the first episode comes out in a couple weeks.
Oh, I check that out. Boy, I gotta finish Snowfall first. I can't,
Yeah. And what's my man name? What's dude name? The legendary director. What's the man
John
name? It's
Singleton?
like, he started it and until he passed away. Yeah, he was running it for like the first few episodes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean not few episodes, few seasons. But TV is something else that I'm very entrenched in. Like Power. I mean, TV is crazy. You watch Atlanta?
I watched a couple episodes. I never finished it.
Great show. Shout out,
Yeah.
I was just thinking before we got on this, I'm about to go listen to Because of the Internet tonight. That album just popped up in my head today. Shout out Childish Gambino. He's talented as hell.
Yeah, he very.
But that show is good. All his movies are good, and his albums are good. He hasn't. I ain't gonna say he hasn't had a bad album, but 4 of his 5 albums I like. I'll say that.
Yeah, he's dope. I agree with that. But but like you were saying with the remakes, I agree with it but you can't, to a certain extent, you can't remake like the Cosby Show. Like you can't do it. Like, come on now.
Hell.
You can't, like some shows you just gotta leave alone. You can't remake Cliff.
Now, when you say that's never gonna happen because of the climate. But that's a generic. That's a generic like template. Like two rich parents with a bunch of kids living in New York. Like it's a bunch of shows like that.
Yeah, that's true. And the spinoff is a different world. So
different world.
The spinoff of Cosby Show. In case young people might not know that's where Different World came from. When was Denise went to college? Yeah, from the Cosby.
Yeah. So I was talking on the phone the other day. I'm about to start A Different World because I ain't never seen all the episodes.
Oh, word?
So I'm about to, because I do a thing where I'll like go back and rewatch like a full 90s sitcom, like as an adult, like in my adult eyes.
I still do that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So Different World is next because I've never seen it even as a kid. I only seen like whatever came on TV after school type. So
yeah,
I want to get into that. So are the Cosbys? Do they ever appear in there, or is it just like, oh, here's Denise and she's no longer on the show?
On the
like,
first,
do they make any cameos?
The first season they made cameos.
Okay.
Then after that, it kind of like got away from it.
Right.
And I don't think damn Denise was on this shit after that. It was like they started Yeah, yeah. Lisa
Damn.
Bonet playing Denise, of course. I think she got pregnant or something, and they were
Mm,
saying they recast her and
with
she left the show. So they moved away
okay.
from it. But yeah, Different World, that's already a spinoff of the Cosby Show. So that can it's a classic now, but I hope they don't mess it up. I heard that, they're supposed to be their daughter or whatever.
Yeah, so apparently
Being
it's
Randy.
the characters' kids
Yeah,
instead of
Dwayne
remaking the same
Rankin there.
characters.
What's her name on there? Whitley. Yeah, their daughter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
I hope they do a good job, and they say they all for to make cameos on it, so it should be good.
Yeah, I heard the trailer was fire.
Yeah.
I wanna watch the original before I watch that
Oh,
though.
yeah, you gotta watch the original.
Yeah.
Yeah, Different
Yeah,
World was
so
legit.
it's on
Tupac was
Netflix,
on
so
there.
Imma check it
Yeah,
out.
Tupac
Yeah.
was on the episode, of course,
I
Jada
heard, yeah.
played on there. Yeah, and they say
So I
all of them supposed to come back for the remake. They supposed to make cameos on it, so that
nice.
should be dope.
Yeah, the last show that I rewatched, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, and I
What?
rewatched all the Jamie Foxx episodes recently, so that's
What?
my next show up, yeah.
Classics. The Wayans brothers, Martin,
Man,
Jamie.
I'm so mad they took that off of HBO, man. I used to be my comfort show. I'll
It's
just put
not
that
on
on
there?
to go to sleep. Nah, they took it off. Now you gotta buy it on Prime. You gotta
Wow,
buy each episode or buy the seasons.
damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
but
I don't
yeah,
know what
that
happened with that.
a lot of great shows, man. Yeah, black that was in, black sitcoms was at its apex back then.
Yeah.
The nine in the
Mhm.
mid to early 2000s. I mean, the early to mid 2000s. Yeah, my wife and kids. Yeah, everybody hate Chris. They still was care, but now it's
Yeah,
kind of
even
like,
like One on One,
yeah, yeah,
stuff like
exactly.
that, yeah.
Remember them
Bernie Mac
days?
show, all
Yep.
that, like
Remember them days, man. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the remake. I like originality, but I'm not mad at it either. Like I'll watch the new Different World. I'll watch it. Some
yeah.
people like Mary watching that shit. I
It's a
watch Bel Air.
pipeline though. You know,
Yeah,
like it's like a pipeline for like newer talent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you think about your favorite comedian from the 90s. They all had their own show and a bunch of movies.
yeah,
So I feel like instead of doing remakes, they need to go back to giving like burgeoning stars a platform. You know what I'm saying? Like Bernie Mac got a show, Steve Harvey got a
yeah,
show, DL Hughley had a
yeah,
show, but you know what I'm saying? You don't see like a Mojo Brooks with a show or like you know what I'm saying, Dion Cole has a show. But like some of our newer
yeah,
versions
yeah,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying.
comedians. Now I will say Mojo Brooks has that show, Madam Governor or whatever on or the Tyler Perry joint, and that's funny, but he's not the star. You know what I'm saying? Like I miss the days of giving our favorite comedians their own show where they're the star. Like we haven't done that. I don't think we've done that since Bernie Mac, if I'm being honest. Like
Yeah,
so
you might
that
be right.
that was a cool era.
Yeah,
Now
that
we get
was.
sitcoms from like actual actors, like dramatic actors, and it's cool and all, but bring back comedians getting their own show.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Like I said back in the day, man. But like you said, Sister, you had Moesha, it was just shit, man. You had
Hmm.
shows everywhere, man.
Even
Black
Keenan and
Sheep.
Kel,
Yeah,
like
Keenan, yeah. They
pipeline,
spin-off.
bro.
Yeah, the spin-off of all that. Like we just had it was a time to be alive. I just say that.
Yeah. That's why I like when people be like, "Oh, you're Unc. You're 30 plus." Like, yeah, but you never seen the Wayans brothers and you
I
don't
know,
even know
man.
what juice is. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you
Like,
missing
I'm glad to be born when I was born.
missing out on a whole lot.
Now
So
all they got is YouTube and Fortnite. Like
that's
it's
all
a
they
mess
got.
out here these
That's all
days.
they care about too. But but I'm glad though, like you said, you can go back and relive that era, man. You can just put it on, watch the Fresh Prince. You can watch Martin or whatever. You
Yeah,
know,
no, it's definitely dope. And even when even beyond sitcoms, even when it come into like kids, like cartoons and stuff, like kids don't even be knowing no cartoons no more. So I took YouTube away from my youngest and I took YouTube away from him. So now he be watching like stuff that I used to watch. Like he'll watch
yeah,
like Justice League or like, you know what I'm saying, Ed and Eddie or something like that.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like it's
yeah.
cool. Like I don't want to deprive him of the days, but he likes that stuff without me having to like force it on him. And it's like, yeah, man, cartoons are cool. You don't just gotta watch kids play Roblox on YouTube all
I
day.
know,
Like, you know
right?
what I'm saying? Tap into a kid's show or something.
The kids
So
weird. Like they watch kids play on
play
YouTube
right.
instead of. It's
Exactly.
not like
Like,
how when
bro.
we was kids, we wanted to actually go out and play. They watch on tablets, tablets and stuff. Other kids
Mm,
playing. Like
yeah.
the kids these days. It's
Crazy,
weird,
man.
man. It's weird,
But
bro.
it's cool. Another show, I know we've been rapping for a minute. This is the last thing I'm gonna
Nah,
say.
you good.
Have you watched have you heard of Lanterns?
Oh, yeah, yeah, I started that. I ain't
Bro,
finished the first one.
that show look like it's gonna be crazy. I hope they don't like only give it like a couple seasons, but nah, that show look really good. Like this show has
Right.
like some potential with that one. I like the first couple episodes.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I gotta check that out. Yeah, I started it the other day. Yeah, it looks
Okay. Yeah, I'm
interesting.
not too big into like comics and like, you know what I'm saying, DC like
Oh, yeah?
superhero stuff, but I remember Green Lantern from the Justice League cartoon when I was a
Yeah.
kid. And I was like, before Static Shock came out, that was like the first time I seen a black superhero. And I was rocking with him ever since. And I'm like, yo, that's my guy. And then, Static Shock came out, Black Panther came out, but it always started with Green Lantern. So when they bought the show back, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. This is nice.
Hey, the first black superhero in the 90s, man, Meteor Man.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's
And,
another movie. I didn't see that movie till I got a lot older,
yeah,
bro. Like a
Meteor
lot older.
Man, and, damn, what's the other one with Damian Wayans? When he was the dude damn, what's the
Blank Man?
Blank Man, yeah, Blank
Yeah,
Man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So those hey, hey, you gotta know if you know, you know. Meteor Man, Blank Man in the 90s. Black
Yeah, and
superheroes right there, bro.
they had
Yeah.
some movies, man, and they don't get talked about. Like Low Down Dirty Shame is
What?
hilarious, bro.
Classic,
Marcy X, like those movies are crazy, and
classic.
nobody ever talk about them, and they're not on no streaming. Maybe Tubi, but that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. So you ready for the, new Avengers? You watch it at?
Yeah, I am. I'm not all caught up. Like I seen all the other Avenger movies, but they be talking about you got to watch all the Marvel movies in this order, or you're not gonna know what's going on. And I be
They do
lost in all the movies, but I be there for the action. You know.
yeah. They do go in a, order though, so yeah, that is true, so
Yeah,
watch
you
it when
seen
you
them all?
can. Pretty much. I think I'm
Okay,
caught up.
yeah.
I think
I
I'm
seen
all
the
caught up.
favorites. Like I seen the Iron Mans and the Spider Mans. I never seen none of the Thors, and I never seen none of the series. Like all them Lokis and
Oh, yeah.
WandaVision and all that. I ain't never seen none of that stuff. The only Marvel series I watched was Luke Cage, and they canceled that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
some of
nah,
'em
I'm not
cool.
tapped in.
Yeah, some of 'em cool.
I watched Guardians of the Galaxy recently. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
But
cool,
nah,
that's
it's just
cool.
so many. It's like 30 of them.
That new X-Men though, the X-Men '97, that shit dope though. That cartoon, a lot of people were talking about. It's on Disney Plus. A lot of people
It
were
just
talking
came
about.
out.
Yeah, it just came. Well, they on like the second season now. I think it came
Okay,
out like
I
2
didn't. This
years
is my
ago.
first time hearing about that.
That shit
Okay.
good. They just had an X-Men cartoon back in the day, but they bought it
Yeah.
back. So they bought it
Nice.
back, and it's called X-Men '97. Yeah, that shit is critically
I'm gonna
acclaimed.
check
That
into
shit's
that.
good.
I love a good superhero cartoon. I
Yeah,
ain't
that
too old for
shit.
no cartoon.
Yeah, man. And I don't really watch, but everybody kept talking about it. My banker, I was in the bank. He like, man, you got to watch it. And other people, yeah, like, have you
That's how
seen
you
it?
know you lit when the
Yeah,
banker's talking about
definitely.
it.
I like, nah. So I was like, let me check it. So I have my daughter, she be watching it, putting her on the X-Men and stuff like that. So she like
Okay.
it. So yeah, X-Men 90, yeah, it's dope.
You
It's
said it's
real
on
dope.
what, Disney Plus?
Yeah, Disney Plus. Yeah.
Okay.
On the
Yeah, I
second
seen
season.
they recasted all the new X-Men.
Yeah, I saw
They
that. They
got my
doing a
girl
reboot.
playing Storm. I forgot her name, but I'm not mad at it. Everybody was just saying don't make her light skinned, but
Yeah.
eh,
I mean,
it's
Storm was
Storm.
dark skin. She was dark
Yeah,
skin.
I mean, I ain't mad at the take, and
Yeah.
I feel like she might not be super chocolate, but she ain't light skinned, so I'm
Yeah,
happy with
that
who they picked.
yeah,
Yeah.
because in the comics, Storm was a dark-skinned
Yeah,
woman.
she from Africa. I think her character is African,
It's from
actually.
Africa,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why they
And sh
wanted Angela Bassett over Halle Berry back in the day.
that
But
would've been perfect, that would've been perfect.
hell yeah, well, but the
Yeah,
people that made that decision, they wasn't in the culture like we in the
you know
culture.
how
They
that you know
probably, you know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So
Angela Bassett would've been perfect, had the skin, had, like, the
absolutely,
structure,
the arms,
muscular
yeah.
yeah, so, yeah, it would've been perfect, but, they don't understand the culture. They don't know,
Hmm.
but, yeah, we gonna see, though.
Yeah, we'll
Alright.
see.
That was a great
I'm
talk,
rocking
man.
with it, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure. For sure. Yeah, definitely check him out. But Imma check out Power, man. I gotta put that on my to-do list.
For the
See, I'm
love
glad
of
we
sweet
said that.
baby Jesus.
I never watched Power. I couldn't tell you nothing. I lost interest in it. I
Man,
just heard then and depth, and I started the BMF series, and I was into that, and I just lost them. I don't know what it was. I just never went back to it.
honestly, I watched it up until the last season, and it just I ain't gonna say I didn't enjoy it, but once they started going off the rails, I never
Yeah.
went back. Like it just started being too much, and then they ended up in the desert in Mexico somehow,
Oh,
and I'm like,
really?
that might have been what the story was in real life, but they didn't promote it right, or something just didn't prompt me to go back. And then everybody that did go back, they said it was just like it wasn't all that, so I never went back after that. But I watched
Okay.
the first 3 seasons though.
Yeah.
But
Be like
shout
that.
out, shout out them. They did their
Yeah.
thing.
Be like that.
What's my man named Da Vinci? He did a good job.
Yeah. Okay. Alright,
But
well,
nah, yeah,
cool.
definitely Power, man. Please, please, for the culture, man.
I got
For
to.
music culture daily, man.
I got to. Okay, I got to start watching it again, man. And we'll do some little dialogue back and forth, man,
And I'll
about it.
watch. I'm gonna listen to Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do tomorrow.
Yeah, watch Throne. Yeah, this is a great album, man. Okay. All right, cool, bro. All right, well, if that's pretty much it, man, I greatly appreciate it,
Yes,
chopping
sir.
it up.
Yes,
Great
sir.
conversation as always, man.
As always.
Appreciate it, man. Definitely like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Great appreciate the support. Music Coach Daily, I'm boy Maurice. Man, Catalog Talk, signing out. Catch you guys on the next one.
We out.
Peace. Peace. Yeah, that was good, man.